Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a tutorial on the Proton Packs, but we're going to do my version. So on the gurney here you guys can see I have two Proton Packs and they look different. And back here we have the original mock built one with a couple of my changes. I changed them a few things, but overall it's the basic build of the pack from the mock, but I always thought it could be a little bit better, so I came up with my own pack, and I'll show you guys here. So this is one of the Proton Packs built from the mock. Of course, a couple of my own changes, like the printed part, the cord for the gun, and just a couple other little modifications. Overall, the build of this is per the mock, just a couple exterior changes. But I was never too happy with these. They seemed really tall and really bulky, and they seemed a little oversized for like the size of the car and the size of a person that would be in the car. They seemed just a little too big and beefy. So I wanted to change that. Well, what I came up with was this slimmed down version, and I actually worked from a photo of an actual Proton Pack from Ghostbusters, one of the original Proton Packs. Just used a photo from the internet and did my best to kind of size it up a little bit better and make a few improvements and changes, and basically get it slimmed down a little bit and shorter, so it's sized a little bit better for the car and the gurney. And I'll show you guys side by side. You guys can see my pack versus the mock pack. And like I said, this has a couple little changes on it, but this is my design. I took a few little cues from this pack, but I really like how this looks. This looks way closer to an actual Proton Pack than that one does. The size is just way better. It's sized significantly better. It's not quite so big and beefy on the bottom. So I am really happy with this. I'm going to show you guys how I built this here. So I'm not going to show you how to do the mock ones. I'm going to show you how I did my version. And then same with the gurney. When I do the gurney, we're going to do my version of the gurney here and not the mock's gurney. I feel like this is a pretty good upgrade, and you guys can also be the judge. Just in my opinion, I like how my pack looks a lot better. It just looks more like the actual Proton Pack. This one's just a little too beefy on the sides for me, and this should be down at the bottom and not like right in the middle. So I feel like this one came out pretty good, and it, like I said, the size is just like perfect now. And a couple things I did make sure. I made sure that it sits in the gurney really nice. Every spot it sits really nice. It locks in. And then I can even, now those ones sit in there really good, and you guys can see kind of the shake test there. The mock ones can hold in there really good, but mine hold in there really good too. So that was something that I had to make sure that mine sat in there really good. And then you guys can see the width. So mine stay within the confines of the gurney. Those ones, the sides kind of spread out a little bit. The gun sticks out a little bit. So I really like mine. I was really happy I decided to try to redesign that, because that looks way better. And like I said, I just worked from a photo of one of the ones from the movies. So did my best to just kind of make it look halfway decent. And then another thing that I like is they sit in there shorter. So you guys know I made a couple modifications to these to try to get them to sit down a little bit further. And there you guys can see kind of how far those ones stick out. Try to show you you guys can see there is a height difference between the two. So mine sits in there just a little bit shorter. So more clearance. We always need more clearance, so that's really nice. So today we are going to do the tutorial of how I built this, how I built my version. So, and I will do a separate video for the gurney. The gurney, I'll just do a completely separate video. So today we're just going to stick with the Proton Pack build. So I got a couple of cups here that are full of parts. I have 4 of them for the new car. This one right here was rebuilt from one of the ones that I had already built. So I will be changing all of my packs, the one for the 1A and Ecto 1, the original version. I'll be rebuilding all the packs like this now. But I got a few here ready. I'm just gonna build one for you guys, and we'll do a part. I'll show you what all parts you got to use for this version here. Pour it out. So first, I'm using this shorter. I think this is the shortest length of these little cord pieces that you can get. I use these a lot on the whole Ecto 1 project itself. I use these quite a bit in a couple different areas. I love these. They're awesome. So we got that. We have one of the little laser guns. So I'm using one of those. We have one of these modified parts here. So you only need one of those. I am using 3 of these modified plates. These are what I call the top downs. So 3 of those. Using one 2x4 plate, one modified 1x1 brick. Of course, I have the printed circular tile of the pack. I went and ordered a bunch of these a while back, so I've got quite a few of them, and I love using them. One of these circular plates with the axle hole in it. Like one of those bottom slide pieces. One of these modified plates with curved bottom and the hole in it. I think they call this like a candlestick holder or something like that on Lego's website. Could be wrong, but I know they use them for holding candles a lot. Have one of the tiles that has the grate in it. A 1x1 tile. A modified plate with a holder on it. Another modified plate with a top holder on it. I do apologize, I don't know all the names of all these parts. This is a sloped kind of brick tile, whatever you want to call that. It's one of the half circles, you guys can see it there. Two normal 1x1 studs. One with a pass-through hole in it. A 1x1 circular tile. 2 1x1 plates. and then a 1x2 plate. So that's all the parts that I'm using right there to build this. So I'll show you guys how I'm doing this here. So start off with just your 2x4 plate. Take this modified one, put it on the first set of studs on that, just like that. And then take two of these modified plates, and you're gonna connect them on the bottom, just like that. One there, and one just like that. Only one of these is being used. The other one is basically just there to help hold the pack in the gurney. And let's see, you take your circular plate here, attach it on just like that. Take the printed tile, put it on top of that. That gets the whole bottom of the pack. And you can see why I'm using this piece here, so that way we have that curved bottom. And then the 1x2 plate goes on top just like that. The 1x1 tile goes on there just like that. Another modified plate goes in the next spot right next to it here. Try to straighten those up a little bit. Now, oh, I am missing a piece. You need 3 of these regular studs. So 3 of them, not just 2, 3 of them. So you take this little modified holder right here. Take one of those, put it on just like that. And then take one of these little modified holders here and clamp it, but you want to make sure it's to where it can sit like normal. So you're building that right there. That, sorry guys if that's not in focus, that goes on there just like that. And then we take our modified brick, put it on there just like that. And then we take one of the 1x1 studs, put it on top. Take one of the 1x1 plates, put that on top. Take another one of the normal studs, little circular 1x1 studs, put that on there, and then the 1x1 tile caps that off right on top just like that. So then that gives you that right there. And then on your last spot right there is where this little slope tile goes, or slope half brick, whatever you want to call it. Try to get that straight. Alright, so that gives you the bulk of the pack right there. Then we will come over to the gun itself. Just take those, plug them right into each other just like that. Now that pass-through hole on this stud right here, put the handle in that. Actually, that's not going to go. all the way, I don't think. Or actually, forgive me. You want to put that on backwards. So instead of like putting it through the top, put it through the bottom. Just like that. Then take one end of the cord here, plug that in, and I try to align where that cord coming out right in line with the rest of the gun, so you can see it's right at the top, or actually right at the bottom of the gun. And I did mess up here, sorry guys. Try to pull that back off. I forgot there's underneath that piece is where the holder for the gun goes. So in that spot, take this modified holder right here, or holder, and get that on there just like that. And then you can put this sloped tile on there. And that's where the gun gets held. On the back side here, right at the bottom of the 2x4 plate is where this little slider goes. Or no. Boy, I'm telling you guys all sorts of wrong stuff here. I was right. I just built this one, so I'm trying to like look at it while building this one, so forgive me for the mistakes here. So yeah, that was correct. That goes there. This holder actually goes on the back side. Just like that. And then your other 1x1 plate goes right with it. So it should be just like this on the back side. So then take this spot right here, and you have a little bit of adjustment in there. I'm putting this right at the front of that handle right there. There you guys can kind of see that play that you have in there. You want it to be closer to this side, not closer to the handle. And then just face that where it's in line. And then try to run that cable this direction. And now when I put this on, I want this to kind of be at an angle, because I found that if I put it too far down, it interferes with how the pack sits in the gurney. So you basically want it at like a 45, hitting right on that top corner of that modified plate. So that gives you your cord there. And then last piece, this little great piece, you take that middle point and put it in the hole on that stud, and then just make sure that that's lined up. And that's it. That's my new rebuilt, redesigned pack. Not too many parts. Pretty simple to get it together. And it looks so much better. This looks like the pack. This looks a lot like the pack now. So like I said, I'm going to redo all those packs. All the ones for the 1A and all the ones for the 1, the Ecto 1. All of them are getting redone, so they're all going to look really cool like this. So, and you guys can run your cords for the gun how you want to. Just make sure they don't stick out too far. You might catch them on stuff when you're putting them in and out of the car. But I like my new design a lot better. It just feels like, this looks like the actual pack. This was just too big and beefy, too tall. You guys can see, from like bottom to bottom, roughly about how much shorter my pack is. Even with the gun sticking up, it's still, the tip of that gun is still shorter than what the top of this is, so. Definitely glad I took some time to kind of redesign that, because I love how these look. And hopefully you guys too. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully it makes you want to kind of build a nicer looking pack for your cars. But that's it, guys. Just a little tutorial on how I redesigned the packs, and I'll show you guys. So, you know, just keep fresh in your heads what I did right there. I'll take you over and show you how the mock has them build step by step here. Now, if you want to build them per the mock, I will go through this. You guys can pause it if you need to. This just kind of shows how the mock had you doing it. And you guys saw, I really didn't do a lot of modifications to it. Didn't put that radio piece on. I did not do that radio piece. And then the face of this, I used those tiles with the prints on them. Didn't use the whips because the whips are just too stiff and they're bulky and they just don't work. Excuse me. So you guys can see a little bit of what I changed on those packs, but when I did this version, but you can do whatever version you want, but hopefully if you like my version and you want to do it, there you go. Showed you how to. Not a lot of parts. There's actually more parts in this one than there is this one. So money-wise, mine is the cheaper one, and in my opinion, it looks better. So this is a great one to start with, but definitely you want to do some modifications to it, especially to make it fit better. So like I said, I really like mine. I like how they came out. They look so cool. And I can put a couple of them in the gurney now. Kind of see how they sit. So I mean, you guys can see they look awesome. They fit in there so nice. So nice. They don't stick out at all. Like I said, you just want to make sure your cords aren't like sticking out too far, or they could get cut on stuff, but that's not a big deal at all. I love how those look. They sit down in there way nicer. And as you guys saw, they survived the shake test, so they're not going to fall out on you. So that's it. My tutorial for how I redesigned the packs. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully that helps you. And yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Until next time, take care.